10 Wealthiest Female Artists. When it comes to financial success, not everyone viewed as wealthy was born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Instead, some people have shed blood, sweat, and tears, and displayed talent to earn their fortune. These 10 female singers are a perfect example of this, and show that anything is possible. These pop stars have demonstrated that a person's background is simply a fact of their life. They managed to achieve fame and fortune by defying all odds and moving towards success on their own 2 feet, or in the case of these women, their voices. Welcome to Best Wonders, where today we'll be showing you 10 of the wealthiest female artists around the world. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on the best wonders worldwide. Without further ado, let's move on to the video. Number 10. Jennifer Lopez. Given that she makes around $40 million a year, there's no denying that Jennifer Lopez, one of the wealthiest self-made women in the world, has the reputation of being the hardest working woman in show business. J-Lo is well known for her work in singing, acting, and dancing, but the gorgeous woman from the Bronx is also a successful entrepreneur, and that's actually how she makes the majority of her money. Among Jenny's impressive list of ventures are a clothing line, a fragrance line, a skincare line, and a makeup line. But that's not all. The I'm Real singer has numerous endorsement contracts, which guarantee that the star won't return to living in the Bronx anytime soon. In contrast to many of the women on this list, J-Lo has no debts to any man in her life. In addition, her on and off boyfriend and current life partner, actor and film director Ben Affleck, only has $150 million in his bank account. Well, even in the entertainment industry, being poor is not a vice, and Miss Lopez showed that love knows no bounds by welcoming Affleck back despite his financial difficulties. Not only is she extremely talented, she also has a generous heart. J-Lo donates to numerous causes and even co-founded the Lopez Family Foundation with her sister. The stunning star spends a lot of money on clothing and cosmetics. As an entrepreneur, she makes wise real estate investments. The cheapest mansion J-Lo has purchased in the last 20 years cost her $15 million, while the rest cost well over $20 million each. I'd expect no less from a fine woman with an extravagant taste. Number 9. Barbra Streisand. Seeing her on this list is definitely not a shocker due to her entertainment career. Barbra is one of the highest-selling female recording artists of all time after all. The talented star has sold a total of 71.5 million albums in the US alone, and 140 million worldwide. Over the course of her 6-decade career, that success earned her a whopping $400 million. Although Barb's fortune comes from her incredible musical talent, she is also a very shrewd investor, shows positive trades in the stock market, and even manages some of her close friends' investments. An angelic singer and a financial savvy one at that, what more could you love about her? You won't be surprised to learn that Barbra, who is known for appreciating beautiful things, has a sizable collection of antiques and artworks. Her unrelenting taste also led her to the lavish $30 million mansion she currently calls her home. It's far from her biggest purchases though. By such a high-flying lady with a taste for life, one might anticipate some more extravagant purchases, and Barb's does not disappoint. The superstar's aptitude for investing led her to make the mind-blowing $100 million purchase of a mega mansion in California. She also has a real mall built inside her home for the sole reason that she loves to shop. Can you imagine doing such a thing? It gets even better. Miss Streisand loved her dog so much that when its time came, she organized for it to be cloned twice because she couldn't bear the pain. Number 8. Shania Twain. Being born into a poor family with marital issues and finding herself and her mother in a shelter home, Canadian singer Shania Twain has a truly inspirational story that deserves to be made into a Hollywood film or, at the very least, a Netflix special. Fortunately, this cruel fate did not succeed in destroying her life. She found inspiration in her difficult life and was able to forge her own path to success rather than giving in to depression like many others would. Her story truly is an inspiration to many in a rough patch. After she began a professional singing career, her talent and endearing smile did not go unnoticed. However, it wasn't until she released her third album, Come On Over, that she became a musical sensation, selling more than 400 million copies. With hard work and dedication, she rose to become the second wealthiest female singer in Canada. As private as she keeps her life, some details about her investments are already known to the public. She owns a stunning cottage in Ontario, which has got the nickname Shania Twain. The singer also owned a magnificent home in the Bahamas with a view of the ocean that was recently sold for almost $11 million. Additionally, Shania owns a stunning property in New Zealand that is worth $21.5 million. We can't be envious because Shania deserves the life that she has created for herself. Number 7. Victoria Beckham. Posh Spice is another successful young woman who amassed a fortune of more than $450 million. Posh Spice worked extremely hard to launch a successful clothing line with her name on it after marrying David Beckham and relocating to the United States. With the help of the endorsement deal she signed, she was able to surpass her husband while caring for 4 children and maintaining her supermodel appearance even after the 4 pregnancies. Truly an amazing woman. Victoria and her husband, like most celebrities and business people, invest heavily in real estate. They own several pricey homes in Great Britain, an ultra-luxurious mansion in France, and of course, one opulent home in the United States. In addition, Victoria is frequently spotted driving some very expensive cars. The Beckham family's most recent major expenditure was the wonderful wedding of their oldest son, Brooklyn, to Nicola Peltz, the spectacular event that drew half of the world's celebrities, which cost roughly $4 million. Number 6. Gloria Estefan. Gloria Estefan, the most well-known Cuban artist of all time, attended nearly every dance party around the world in the 1980s and 1990s. Even though she did so virtually, she was so well liked that she is still among the top 100 artists, with more than 130 million albums sold and recognition on a global scale. Her musical career spanned 4 decades with 24 album releases, more than 40 #1 hits, and a host of other accolades. The diva is not well known for being wasteful and extravagant, but rather for trying to live in a private life with her husband Emilio. However, the Estefan family, who had previously paid $1 million for a massive mansion in Florida's Venetian Islands, sold it for $13.7 million in the year 2000. The Estefans also appeared to be avid football fans. Gloria and her husband both purchased minority shares of the Miami Dolphins. The team also includes Mark Anthony, Venus, Serena, and Fergie Williams. With such talent behind them, one can only wonder how the Dolphins can still lose. Number 5. Beyonce. Beyonce's purchases rank among the most extravagant, even though she is not the richest female singer in the world. Her lifestyle is Arab chic and can make any oil tycoon envious. Despite having a net worth estimated at around $500 million, Beyonce is still eligible to join the club of billionaires thanks to her husband Jay-Z. Beyonce Knowles first gained notoriety as a member of Destiny's Child, but she quickly outperformed the band's success with her solo career. Her success is not only a result of her amazing voice, she's also a dancer, songwriter, actress, and businesswoman. Beyonce made $60 million from a documentary contract with Netflix alone, and she also has her own fragrance line that also brings some decent income. Beyonce and Jay-Z's $2.5 million diamond-encrusted pacifiers for their 3 children is notable among their extravagant purchases. Do you think they cry less for it? I sure hope they do. Number 4. Dolly Parton. The American singer, songwriter, record producer, actress, and entrepreneur has a net worth of $600 million, making her one of the richest women in entertainment history. Dolly has won numerous awards and earned a special place in people's hearts. Her 60 years of active career have undoubtedly had an impact on contemporary music, and even though Miss Parton has the means to purchase an opulent modern palace, she appears to genuinely enjoy her decades-old home in the 1960s. Granted, it's still a $1 million mansion. The singer's biggest passion, however, is for classic cars, especially Cadillacs. Her 1997 Cadillac Elegance was her favorite vehicle, and she kept it and drove it for more than 10 years before it took its rightful place at the Hollywood Star. Little is known about Dolly's real estate investment, but she recently disclosed that she invested her $10 million royalties from Whitney Houston's cover of I Will Always Love You into a black community in Nashville. The celebrity supports numerous charitable causes too. Dolly donated $100 million to coronavirus research at Vanderbilt University in 2020, which aided in the development of the COVID vaccine. Number 3. Celine Dion. Which is more impressive, Celine Dion's incredible vocals or her estimated net worth of over $820 million? I can't say. The Canadian pop star, unlike others on this list, primarily made her money through her incredible voice. She does receive some nice money from her late husband's record label, but she largely succeeded on her own. Celine had to share everything with her 13 siblings, and she was not born into a wealthy family. Now that she owns a $29 million private palace in Montreal, she'll have plenty of space. However, she has other real estate holdings as well. She paid $20 million for a magnificent mansion on Jupiter Island, which she later sold for an $8 million profit. Celine Dion certainly has a taste for high-end automobiles, as evidenced by her impressive collection of Rolls-Royce Corniche, Mercedes-Benz S-Class, Maybach 62, Audi R8, Bugatti, and Chevrolet C4 Corvettes in her garage. Dion's prized possession, however, isn't in the parking lot. Instead, it is a private Bombardier Global Express jet with an estimated $14 million price tag, her main companion when traveling across the world. Number 2. Madonna. With a career like hers, it's unlikely that Madonna, who performed the song Material Girl in the 1980s, could have predicted that she would be worth $850 million just 40 years later. With over 300 million albums sold and 262 awards, the American pop idol is more than deserving of every dollar. The Material Girl, on the other hand, undoubtedly knows how to live it up. She spends no expense obtaining the luxurious lifestyle she wants, showing that her onstage persona is not that different from her real self. She also heavily invests in real estate, owning 6 prime properties in London, a $9 million mansion in Portugal, a $7 million apartment in New York, and her prized possession, a $23.5 million deluxe duplex overlooking Central Park. However, her more sophisticated side spent about $100 million on art and paintings. Madonna is also a prime car collector with several cars worth more than $100 million, including the crown jewel of her garage, a Maybach 62S worth an astonishing $1.4 million. Truly a material girl. And our number 1 spot, Rihanna. One of Barbados's most well-known exports is a young woman who broke the $1 billion threshold before reaching the age of 35, $1.7 billion at that. The pop star is an actual phenomenon who not only rose to the position of richest female vocalist in the world, but also rose to that as the youngest among the top 10. Naturally, it takes some business skills and a lot of effort to become the 16th richest woman in the world. You can't amass almost $2 billion with just 60 million albums and another 215 million digital files sold, even though it's a very successful feat. The majority of her revenue comes from her opulent cosmetic brand, Fenty Beauty, which generated more than $550 million in sales in 2020. A year later, the Savage x Fenty Lynch Array line, in which Rihanna owns 30%, increased its net value to $1 billion. Rihanna invests in opulent properties, where she can film her videos and then sell them for a huge profit, just like any other billionaire. Over the years, she has purchased over $75 million worth of real estate in Beverly Hills and Los Angeles. However, the pop star hasn't forgotten her roots, as she also owns a $22 million apartment in an opulent hotel complex in Barbados. Rihanna has a passion for cars and owns a number of extremely expensive vehicles, including a Porsche Turbo 99's convertible, a Rolls-Royce, and a $400,000 Maybach. While all of these may seem pricey, there is nothing in comparison to the Caribbean Queen's most expensive possession, her wardrobe. Rihanna takes pride in her appearance and is consistently well dressed. Obviously, there is a price associated with that. But who would have thought that it would be more than $40 million? I agree that the singer's wardrobe and accessories are among her best features. Personally, I wouldn't be caught dead wearing anything less than $1 million pair of pajamas. Now, if you ask who runs the world, the answer seems quite obvious. Who do you look up to the most among these 10 artists? Any honorable mentions? Let us know in the comments. We hope you liked watching this video. Don't miss out on more of these types of videos by liking this one, subscribing to the channel, and turning on the notification bell. Keep checking back for more of the world's best wonders.